Your perspective versus their perspective. Spirit, for the viewer, may we have a look at the viewer's perspective, please? What do we need to know about the viewer's perspective? We have got the Star. And then for the person that the viewer is thinking about, please. That person's perspective, please. What do we need to know about their perspective? We have got Justice, two major arcanas. From your perspective, there is wishes, wanting, and healing. It is very teeny tiny, so let me bring this card to you. But can you see how she has her arm outstretched and there is a bird flying to it? This may be talking about messages that are coming through and even signs and synchronicities from the universe, letting you know that you are not alone. The Star card is also main character energy, meaning that you really are understanding your value and your worth. These rocks in the background, they very much remind me of Stonehenge. You can see that the night sky is breaking into the dawn. You maybe feel like there is a new era that is coming for you, where you can feel these dreams, these desires manifesting for you. This may be a time where you have looked to the heavens to ask for assistance, and I feel that the answers are coming. The person that you are thinking of, they are trying to keep extremely balanced. If we see on this illustration how one half of the card is represented by the cerebral cortex, the brain, and the other by the heart. Perhaps there is something that you are both wishing for, and they are very much trying to remain level-headed. Your perspective, we have the Queen of Cups, and from their perspective, we have the Knight of Cups. Clearly, you both have very similar emotions. Cups within tarot, they talk about love, they talk about emotions, and they talk about the psyche. And this very much ties into the Star card that we had seen here, dreaming, wishing, and wanting. From your perspective, you are highly empathic and are able to pick up on this person's feelings and thoughts. Again, quite interesting, as we had seen the brain and the heart here, saying that you are very connected. If we look at this particular illustration of the Queen of Cups, we can see that she is sitting amongst quite turbulent waters, very symbolic of high emotions. And yet you have all of the resilience to keep afloat. It's really interesting because in a traditional Queen of Cups card, she has a lid on her cup. And the meaning of that is someone who keeps their emotions very kept within. This Queen of Cups does not have that. We can see it is an open cup, meaning that you have been very vulnerable and very honest with your emotions. So while you are showing up as a queen, the person that you are thinking of is showing up as a knight. This could potentially indicate that this person may be younger than you, or perhaps a little less mature in how they show their emotions. When I've taught my students about tarot, I've always mentioned them to look at the way that the head is pointing. And we can see that in this illustration, there is almost avoidance of making eye contact here from their perspective. And yet there are all of these emotions. The Knight of Cups can also talk about self-healing. So this person may be trying to find balance within and do some healing on self at this moment in time. Your perspective, we have the Three of Pentacles, and their perspective, we have the Seven of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is traditionally a card that speaks of collaboration, of co-creating and working together. This card has a slightly different energy, as you can see that she is very solitary as she is working away, very much minding her own business. And in saying that, that might be quite literal, as in you may have a business or an enterprise that you are very much focusing on. You can see that her little feet are standing on the pentacles, suggesting that you are focusing and you are building your own base. It is very grounded energy after all of the emotions and turbulence that we have seen within the Queen of Cups card. However, let me bring this closer to you yet again. Do you see up here this tiny cobweb and how it trails off? It is like an awareness of you picking up on energy, that the winds are changing and they are blowing in your direction. And perhaps this is going to happen when you least expect it, when you are fully engrossed in something else. From their perspective with the Seven of Pentacles, this may very much be talking about timing. Once again, going back to a traditional deck, this is a card where we see someone who has planted a seed, and this seed has taken a very long time to grow, where there has even been a germination period where there may be no evidence of growth. And yet, deep down, a seed has taken root, and the evidence starts to appear. This is a card that speaks of persistence and of faith and of never giving up. And this is a card that speaks of long-term investment. Now, often I get asked as to how long does this take? And I often dread it when I see this card and people have asked me that question, because this is a card that indicates that sometimes there is years in the making. This is very possible that this is someone who has held long-term feelings for you. From your perspective, we have the Queen of Swords, and their perspective, we have the Seven of Rods. So we have had the Queen of Cups, and now we have the Queen of Swords. Very much going from this sweet, empathic queen into one who has grown very strong, very decisive, and very discerning. This is the queen who takes no BS. With the bird in the background here, it is showing that you understand things from a higher perspective. I do rather love the Queen of Swords. She has this energy of being protective, but she also has this outstretched hand. And this is to show that not all softness is lost. It is definitely a card that says, come and talk to me. Express what it is that you have to say. And your person's perspective, we have two sevens, so sevens may be relevant to them. The Seven of Rods, it does talk about being rather protective, giving the hint that they may be a little guarded as they come forth. And to be honest, I think anyone would be if they had to deal with the Queen of Swords. It can be rather intimidating energy at times. But it is fair, and as it should be. With these flowers peeking through, I truly believe that they will start to share their feelings and their thoughts. Maybe slowly at first to see how it is received. This certainly feels like a situation that has gone on for maybe a long period of time, where emotions have very much been involved. And it feels like in some way you have moved on. But I feel like there is still interest and attraction between the both of you. Of course, as always, this is a collective reading and it is not meant to resonate with everyone. If you would like your own personal reading, then there is a link in my bio to same-day readings or one-on-one Zoom calls. All of these beautiful cards I have listed here, and you can find a direct link in my bio under my favorite tarot cards.